Haha. Man. Alright, so this is my 98 Lincoln Mark 8. Ta-da. No, but anyway, it's starting to have electrical issues for some reason. I was driving it to work because, if you've seen my last video, my daily is down because of a botched O2 connector that I cannot find right now. You know, I can find it, but it's 60 bucks. What the heck? Anyway, I was taking this thing to work, and I got out of the gas station, and while I was there, I was checking all my lights, just because that's something I do. I had no tail lights and no park lights up front. You know, nothing. And recently, the shift lock quit working, and I just assumed it was an old car quirk, you know, maybe the switch burnt out. But no, that fuse, coincidentally, is next to that other one on the layout of that thing. They both popped, and when you replaced them, immediately they'd pop again. So, what the hey, car? So we're gonna get the multimeter out, start reading resistance. It shouldn't be too hard. You know, I don't know too much, so... You know, I don't know too much. First of all, you may be thinking, what in the world is this frame? I know. She's a little rough. I don't really know how, but I haven't fixed that yet. I need to fix that. But right here, 31 and 32, this is the taillights. This is the shift lock. Quick editor's note. I said taillights for 31. It says lighting module and park lamps. Steering column, ignition, lighting module, park lamps. I guess I meant to say park lamps. That's the important thing. If you turn that headlight switch to park lamps, it blows the fuse. So, you know, that's the tail lights and the orange lights up front or whatever. But the blinkers worked, so... As you can see, they ate all my freaking 10 amps. Now, I'll be honest, I've never done resistance tests with the multimeter. But as far as I understand it, after getting my degree from Google, it seems like you just got to unplug the battery. I don't know. We're going to start reading ohms, and I'll show you what it says, and then I'll give you my take, and then you can roast me in the comments if I'm wrong. I suppose we can easily test that by going to a known good circuit and checking the resistance on it right now. Oh, by the way, this is going to come in handy hard. I got this on eBay when I got this car. And if you're buying an old car, which, you know, 97 or 98, this ain't even old, honestly, but I guess it kind of is. These are gold mine. And usually if you sell a car, you'll get your return on investment, you know. I've got the shop manual for that guy, and it's good. It's a good resource, is all I'm saying. So, if you got a project car, you probably already know this, but if you don't and you want to get one, shop manuals, they are your friend. So, let's just find us a good circuit. The power door locks work, so let's just go ahead and see what circuit that one's on. 41. It's a 10 amp fuse. Well, that's 15. That ain't right. Give me that. Okay, I'm not sure what I said in the previous clips. Maybe they didn't even make it in here in the editing process. But I've got this guy right here going to the positive cable right now on my battery, which is disconnected. And I've got it set in the ohms lead side, whatever, I don't really know. And currently at the 2000 kilo ohm setting, if I test the brake switch side that's popping the circuit with, oh, hang on, right now it's got a broken fuse in it. If I test that, I'm getting like 400,000 ohms, which I'm pretty sure is not bueno. And on the taillight side, when I test it, it doesn't show a reading on any of the ranges So that suggests an overload, right? Or an open circuit or something. So my theory is, with that manual over there, I'm going to see what is all on that circuit, and I'm just going to keep isolating the circuit by unplugging stuff, and then I'll get a good resistance reading, yeah? And that'll find my dead short, I think. We're going to see how far we get with it. So, according to Mr. Manual, fuse 31 is on 13.6. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little flabbergasted reading all this. There's our 31, and they all go into this steering column ignition module. So, according to that last page, those lines all go into C287, which is this module over here on the passenger side. Is this why everyone loves electrical issues? Well, that sure is a lot of stuff, but according to the manual, fuse goes into connector C287, plugs into the steering column ignition module thing, which I'm pretty sure is this guy. It has 4 connectors going to it, just like this does, so I'm thinking we unplug it and see if our resistance changes. You know what, after reconsidering, I think I'm just going to look and unplug the 2 harnesses that go to the tail lights and see if that makes a difference instead of yanking the dash and unplugging that module and all that fun stuff, because that module gets busy and I don't like that. Alright, well, both tail lights are totally removed from the harness, so let's see if that made a difference. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know, you never know. Editor's note: you never know, but stick around till the end of the video, because I forgot to do something and maybe you just saw it, but the issue was a little closer than I thought it was. Yeah, no change, so I guess we're just gonna keep going. Moving on to more C287 stuff. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and try unplugging the park lamps on the front. And recently, this has a little light that lights up this lane of the road. That went out a minute ago. Maybe I'm just clutching straws, I don't know. I'm kind of flailing around, but I'm doing something. Maybe. I don't know. I can't wait to see the comments on this video, but in a good way. I would like to be educated. So, there's that brake shift interlock that's also dead on this circuit. Maybe something's there, I don't know. Removing these headlamps seems to be pretty easy. There's a 10mm there, a 10mm there, 10mm there, and then a Phillips right there. Flip it over, and you got the passenger side. So, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second and I'll take that out. Alright, those monsters are out. Seriously, you should look up what these cost online. It's ridiculous. There's my hand for scale for how big these things are. Jeez. I guess let's test that circuit now and see if anything changed. Nope, still nothing. Onward we go. After rethinking it, I think I'm going to look into this brake switch, because this is like a definite thing that is screaming at me. Because according to this guy, 38 and 26 have very low resistance readings, like they're both 0.2, 0.1 ohms. But this guy is like 200,000. So maybe it'd be wise to prod into this stuff instead. I mean, I'm glad I unplugged the headlights, because those connectors look like junk, and it'd be smart to reseal them and get new bulbs, push them in and out, and clean those contacts a little bit. And I wish I knew how to work a DA. I'd sand them things. Maybe that's the next video thing, but I'm glad I took those out anyway, because I want to clean those, clean and reseal the connectors and all that crap. I think I'm going to go ahead and just unplug both of these switches and see if that... Man, that bird loud. Anyway, I think I want to unplug both of these dudes and see if that makes a difference. The brake on and off switch, you'd think it'd be what the brake pedal moves. The brake pressure switch, is that the thing that's on top of the master cylinder? Maybe? I don't know. I'll follow these pages and see what it says. So there is the switch right there, and you can see that it splices into this connector, which goes into the module back to C287. So maybe we're on to something. I don't know. I'm gonna find this guy and unplug it and see if that makes a difference. Alright, what are we even trying to say here, homie? Yeah, the brake switch, it's right here, right here. It's in this white space right here. And if you're looking for the left courtesy lamp thing, it's yeah, it's just in this white space. You'll find it in the white space, trust me. Thanks. We got progress, I don't know, we started with 500,000 ohms of resistance, and we've unplugged a lot of crap. I just took out the brake switch, and I mean, it looks like hell, but it's just really that contact point, I would think. Like, this looks fine. And I unplugged I'm not really sure what this is, a pressure switch? I'm not sure, but I unplugged it, and now we're down to 11,000 ohms, which is still a lot, but I don't know, is that progress? I don't know, I'm really excited to read in the comments in this one. According to Mr. Weatherman, it's gonna start raining in about 30 minutes. So as I was editing, I totally forgot to unplug this giant neon tail light. So let me just unplug that connector too, and we'll recheck the readings. Will it make a difference? Probably not, but we can say we did it, Feller's unplugged. Let's go check that reading again. No way. Did I just find it? No way. Was it that tail light the whole time? Hang on. I don't know why, but it seems like every other time you go into a Walmart, if you try to shoot the breeze with one of the employees, they act like their supervisor's gonna break their kneecaps inward, which, I worked at Walmart for like 7 years, so I get it, but cut it loose, man. Talk to me. Fuse is obtained. I know it's not the most economical way to get a fuse, but right now my junkyard looks like that, so. Also, another mini rant while we're on the topic of fuses. Is there any automotive application for a 7.5 amp fuse? I've never seen one, but I do drive old cars, but what the heck uses a 7.5 amp fuse? Give me that, and give me that. You go there. Both fuses are in. Let's see if anything happens now. Almost forgot to plug these bad boys in. The problem the whole time was that stupid neon ballast or whatever the heck runs this thing. And what's crazy is I started with the taillights first. I just forgot to unplug the... Me bomba! Listen, we found the issue though, so I'm happy. So, can I diagnose this? Yes. Turns out I am a genius. Like and subscribe, brother.